on to reason number 3, and reason number 3 is kind of like it kind of grasp on everything, and this is Rebecca Knight's piece actually, and Rebecca Knight's, and she goes on and says, in the workplace, this can stymie diversity, recruiting, promotion, and retention efforts. Left unchecked, biases can also shape a company or industry's culture and norms. This goes back to knowing if they hired the right person or not. If they hired who they thought they were, who thought would be, beneficial to the company or would fit. And this may lead to choosing someone of color or choosing a white man over someone of color. And, it could have gone either way. Okay, so then we move on to cause number 1. And cause number 1 is basically backs up the first reasoning and the first example with Landrum's piece. She explains, employers have the right to hire whoever they believe is the best fit for the open position. This includes hiring someone with less experience or ability if they believe they would fit better in the office or could be trained more easily to do the job. So basically, this lines up with the cause and is pretty straightforward and explains the example of why they choose to hire, or they choose to go a certain route. Okay, as for cause number 2, which is more focused obviously on hiring managers and their decisions, Pablo goes on to back up example number 2 and reason number 2 by saying, talent shortage and skills gaps result in a less than optimum candidate pool for a job opening. So you're not just looking to diversify your team, but also diversify your hiring process. When you cast a wider net and explore new candidate sources, you reach out to people who already have the right skill set, yet didn't make it into your hiring pipelines using your usual strategy. So this goes on to say that the cause for the reason and the example is basically because they didn't hire their hiring pool. Like they didn't explore new candidates with different skill sets, different work ethics, different work styles, different cultures, different norms. They all just aim towards a group of people, and obviously when you aim towards a group of people, you're likely to get the same if they share the same work style or the same culture, the same norm. Sometimes it's good to mix it up, as well as, like they said, it's caused by using their usual strategy as opposed to taking a risk outside the box. Okay, then we're on to cause number 3 with Rebecca and I backing up the third reasoning. Research shows that unstructured interviews, which lack defined questions and whereby a candidate's experience and expertise are meant to unfold organically through conversation, and are often unreliable for predicting job success. Says Gino, which is one of Rebecca Knight's colleagues that she quotes in her article. And by that, she basically means that, hey, you can hire whoever you want. They could look really good in the interview, but sometimes some of the hirees just, tell the hiring managers what they want to hear. It's easy for someone to just look up a company's background or what they're about, and then just simply take notes, study it a bit, and then if they have good communication skills, they will tell the hiring managers what they want to hear. And although you can talk all you want, but the question is if it could be walked once, put on the job, put on the spot, and if it will benefit the company moving forward. Okay. So on to solution number one. You can be and this backs up example one, reasoning one, and cause number one. You can be proactive to avoid it or efficiently handle it when it does appear. Be aware of the kind of questions that may lead to discrimination and answer them in a way that the hiring manager cannot use that information against you. You can be proactive to avoid it or efficiently handle it when it does appear. Be aware of the kind of questions that may lead to discrimination and answer them in a way that the hiring manager cannot use the information against you. So, yeah, like very limited opportunity you are given. Sometimes a hiring manager will pick at that and will, obviously, you're going up against other candidates, other skill sets, other competition, but you are also mainly going against, if there is, a group of white men that that have the same accolades, everything. Just comes down to whether they want to add more diversity to their team, as well as if you walk a fine line where it cannot be questioned or used against you or recorded against you. Okay. So then now we're on to solution number two. And this is Pavlo going over the second example, the second reasoning, and the second cause. So she says that we need to be aware of our biases. We might not be able to get rid of them completely. Once again, her colleague Matt says, but it's important to build awareness and help people think more consciously when making hiring decisions. To really understand where your biases are, you need to monitor your recruitment process on an ongoing basis, gather data, and pinpoint where the problems are. So yeah, basically more awareness, more of what's going on. Think of, hey, how can we prevent, uncomfortness of, new hirees or so, because this can create a problem if it is a distraction, obviously, and if there's tension and so on. So back to my main hook. I had the fortune to work with Carlos and Charlie. I had the fortune to work with Charlie, and he was a leader to me. In essence, a lot of managers are just there to manage, get through their day, their 9 to 5. But he went above and beyond and showed and changed a culture, made things a norm, and also brought up production. Mind you, this is a Domino's Pizza as an assistant manager. And this is one of many Domino's Pizzas in the high desert in Southern California, in the city of Victorville, against the city of Hesperia, against the city of Adelanto, against the city of Apple Valley. And I am coming from, where we worked was in the city of Barstow. Mind you, this man would drive from Victorville every day or every 5 days a week to come to work and manage the store and whatever was needed. And in the end, he was striving for a store himself. He had the numbers. He had everything. His resume, everything, his accolades, a bachelor's degree. And simply the managers, he had family members, he had favorites. And also, Charlie was a person of color. He was Latino. We're Latinos, and maybe as well that might have played into effect. But I know for a fact that favoritism and family, going against family and favoritism, he was not going to get the opportunity. So then now he's on to better things. He left the job and now he has a government job. And best thing of all, he's in an office job. He doesn't have to deal with customers and food. More than anything, getting out of the food industry is very I feel very satisfying, since knowing that I've known food all my life. I've worked in food all my life. So I feel like a change of scenery would be amazing. And towards him, he got the best of luck and what he deserved, the best of the opportunities. Okay. And then finally, last but not least, and possibly the most effective way for a hiring manager to handle his applicants and for the benefit of the company moving forward is that Rebecca Knight, um, she she presents this solution to where she asks candidates to take a work sample. It's useful in comparing applicants, and it's an effective predictor of future job performance. So, yeah, basically putting the applicants to the test, a potential of their skill set of how the job will be done or how the job, a simulation, and see, who is more skilled or who is more fitting for the job as well. It's a better predictor than coming into an interview and just telling or just having the hiring manager hear everything he wanted to hear from someone that's good, or that's a great communicator. And sometimes um, other people's strengths are work ethic. Other people's strengths is communication. Just there's people that don't even like to communicate and work efficiently. So, and then another prime example would be in the NFL. The NFL has a draft combine every year before college athletes get drafted into the NFL. So that is to showcase their skill set, whether it's speed, strength, catching ability, throwing accuracy, anything you can name to have scouts, impressed or of such athletes' skill sets. And like anything, like when the draft comes, there's athletes that have moved up that from colleges that are not well known around the country. You got the big colleges like Alabama, USC, Ohio State, Clemson. The ones that play on national television every year. But there are those that go to like Division II or just Division I schools that aren't really on TV like that. And there's been times where such skilled athletes are drafted up ahead, and there's been times where such skilled athletes fall back in the draft positioning because that's why I don't really blame one of the causes as to where like hiring managers go on to hire people that fit their scheme or fit their norm or their culture. So they fall back because, hey, he's not fitting in our culture, despite the skill set, despite, the production that they might bring along, they're not fitting of the culture. And then that's when you see now, fast forward when they're in the NFL, a lot of players are on different teams. They're on like 4 or 5 different teams. They're probably on their 4th one, and then they have a breakout season. And then now they're ready to get paid. And, because they fit in that skill set and that scheme. And possibly it's, one of their highs of their careers. But more than anything, it's in comparison. It's kind of a picture or perspective of what, goes on. And so with that, we conclude with my works cited. I guess I had 3 pieces, and they were all very efficient pieces. I had 5 other ones in my project proposal, I believe, or my project outline. But in all, it was a lot of data gathered that helped me make this presentation and hopefully successful, and at least gave me the benefit of learning and as well. So I want to thank Professor Rebello and whoever has whoever I have the pleasure to presenting this presentation to. To wrap up my my 640 management 640 course. Thank you, and thank you for your time.